Hi everyone. So Blizzard has updated the PTR, and as you know, the Demon Hunter set was pretty garbage. And well, I've got the chance to try the new version now, and I have to say it's really good. So here are the patch notes. It basically reads like a list of my suggestions, so that's pretty cool. And they upped the damage a bit from buffing the 2-piece bonus. So now it's 4 seconds per attack instead of 2, and it's up to 20 seconds instead of 10 seconds. So instead of 100% bonus, you can get up to 200% bonus. And you can also swap your generators, which was an issue before. When you had, like, especially Odyssey's end setups, you weren't able to swap the intending shot and back, but now you can, because it's a singular buff that applies to all your generators instead of dropping it completely. So that's pretty cool. On top of that, you also get momentum exactly when you attack and not when you hit something. So this is a very big quality of life improvement, especially for farming. And well, there still seems to be like a little bit of weird interactions or bugs or so, because it doesn't always happen. So there might be some minor bug, but overall it feels much better, much more smooth, and just makes the build much better to play, I think. You don't really have to stop very much to attack and get your momentum stacks up. You can just keep strafing. As long as you have the 20 seconds once at the start of the rift, you can just do one attack every 4 seconds. And, you know, especially when you have this intending shot set up, you do that anyway, because you swap back and forth here and there. So your momentum is always really high. On top of that, you get lots of movement speed. This was the same as before, so the maximum movement speed increase was 160%, and now they made it more clear how much you get. So nothing about that changed, but you also have, like, you know, overall more mobility, because the momentum stacks are higher and dissipate more slowly. So that's pretty cool. And also we have the 4-piece bonus that procs red damage now. It procs stuff like simplicity, strength, healing bonuses. It has a proc coefficient, so theoretically you can do, you know, some crazy Bola proc build if you want or so. And yeah, we'll see about that. But yeah, overall, this, especially this area damage change, buffed the set by a lot. You know, the area damage is huge in Diablo, and we're talking about a buff of, like, I don't know, 5 to 8 tiers or something, simply from area damage. And on top of that, we have, like, all this other stuff, and that makes it really good. So we tested it out a bit in 4-player and also in solo later, and it seems like there's a really good chance for a Demon Hunter speed meta. And we were doing double God DH plus a God support Demon Hunter plus Barb at start. And this was a full Paragons at the start, so we tried like a 125, we tried some 120s and so on to kind of feel out what's right. And this is kind of the expectation for like a rat meta, or for like a whirlwind barb meta or so. So it's like really high up there. It's kind of hard to say without testing all the other setups specifically, but there's a really good chance that Demon Hunter is going to be at least one of the speed metas, and the difference will be, if there's any, like very close. So this is where it's at right now. So 120s for, you know, like a well-geared, augmented character. At maybe like Paragon, I'd say 2,500 to 3,000 is definitely achievable, and this can be optimized. You know, like we were just trying the first few runs, and there's, you know, like difference in play style, so everyone has to get used to this. And also, like, for the support Demon Hunter role that I was playing in those runs, it's actually not that easy. So it's actually like one of the hardest support builds right now, I'd say. Especially when you do a double support setup. We were also trying triple support, where it became a little bit easier for me. But yeah, it all seems to work. So we are trying to swap out one of the DPS Demon Hunters for support Necro, and that seemed to work pretty well. And yeah, you can, like, experiment a little bit, and it seems all, like, pretty close right now. So it's hard to say what's really the best. You could also theoretically go with a support monk, and or you could just go like double support with a support monk and barb and so on. So there's definitely some options. So you could also stack Odyssey's end on the actual DPS Demon Hunters, so that might actually be another optimization to boost the damage a bit more. But yeah, we'll see about that. We tried it a little bit in lower runs and in higher runs. The thing is that yeah, this Strafe Demon Hunter seems to work really well when you have like these 2 to 3 minute runs. So this is, you know, somewhere between starting at, let's say, tier 110 at like the minimum, when you're like, you know, super fresh in the season, and then you can quickly climb up to like tier 115 speeds, and then, you know, you slowly progress up your way to like 120 plus as you you know, grind out the best gear and better paragons. And this is kind of like the expectation right now. This is without the season theme, so theoretically it could be a bit better on the season, but you know, in these fast runs you get like one proc only, so I don't think that will really have an impact, but we'll see about that. And in solo, I tried it in T16 at first. It seems very smooth to play. It's really nice. You can just like strafe around, everything will die. Just hanging arrow in general is pretty strong, and you shoot them everywhere. So yeah, like stuff just blows up and you don't really need much. I was running like 9k dexterity and I was like obliterating stuff. The same goes for tier 102 speedruns. My gear was also quite optimized. I had like lots of air damage that I had from my items, and you don't need this at all in these speedruns. So, you know, I would swap around some stats to gain more DPS. And yeah, this is, as I said, 9k dexterity, so really low end, and you can just blast through like 100 plus at least. And the same here, you can like progress up your way to like 105s, 110 speeds, even at the high end in solo in like, you know, less than 3 minutes. Should be very achievable. And this is still, you know, with myself being rather new to the whole setup, and you know, I can learn a bit more about, you know, when it works well, when it doesn't, what to skip and so on, and also have these PTR lags. So there's definitely a lot more optimizations to be done. And the good thing is in T16 as well, because you have hanging arrow, it's so strong, you can do a cane swap. So you can swap to the Nettas, press Ring of Vengeance, and then destroy the Rift Guardian with canes equipped, and you get more keys like this. So this is actually a very, very strong setup. You just have to deal with the item swap by the Rift Guardian if you want, and like this you can squeeze out more efficiency. Yeah. And for solo push, finally, here's the run that I want to show you. It's a 130. I've done this with S of Johan equipped, kind of like on the Arnold Essence hanging arrow setup. And I feel like this has some merit here as well. So I've been trying a few different things. I've tried like Fortis Ballista and Squirts equipped. I've tried Odyssey's End and Flavor of Time and so on. But yeah, there's a few variations. Kind of hard to say what is the best right now. But this is what I have here. This is maybe the power level of like a well-geared Paragon 2k, maybe 2.5k character. And I was going through like a really bad 5 floor 130, and I failed it very closely by, I don't know, like 10 seconds or so. So this is the run I want to show you here, and yeah, the potential is definitely much higher. So, you know, for like an actual well-geared, augmented, like Paragon 4k character, the potential would be somewhere at like 135, and then with more fishing you can go up to like 137, 138 probably. And we'll probably find out some other minor adjustments that will boost it another 1 or 2 tiers. So like the high end, like seasonal level is going to be like somewhere around 140 for like the crazy pushes. And otherwise, you know, like for Paragon 2k, I would expect something like 130 to be really smooth. And then it becomes, you know, a little bit more difficult as you go higher. The thing is, the weaving in of the intending shot is actually rather hard, so it's pretty difficult to actually do it correctly. And this also requires some practice, which I wasn't really doing well all the time. So sometimes my buff was dropping, or was simply shooting too many intending shots where I could have shot hanging arrows and so on. So the strategy here for me is to just make a pull, and I swap to intending shot to entangle everything up, get the Odyssey's End buff. And then I maintain it once every 4 seconds by doing a tiny shot and hanging arrow right after every 4 seconds. And in between I strafe. So that was kind of the idea here. And then, you know, it comes down to positioning a bit and, you know, using the Joran procs well, because whenever it procs, you get so many pierces, you do so much damage, trash just evaporates. And yeah, this is how it goes. So in short, we have a really nice T16 version. We have a really nice speed farm, like solo setup. We have a really nice form and XP meta. And it doesn't really work too well for pushing. So like Witch Doctor is simply way too strong. Grimscythe Necro way too strong. But Grimscythe Necro might get nerfed. But yeah, we'll see. But we definitely have, you know, the option to include Demon Hunter now, to play Demon Hunter in a 4-man setting. And from what I've heard from Rob and SVR in the 4-man speeds we've done, it was also super fun, and it feels much more exciting than, you know, doing rat runs. Not just because it's new, I assume it's also because, you know, it's like more active and you have to dodge around. They're running like, you know, Fortis Ballista and Squirts, trying to keep up their shield, you know, stuff like this. So there's some minor details, and you can really optimize it by, you know, having better gameplay, by dodging right and positioning yourself well and so on. So I think it's going to be quite exciting, not just because it's new, and you can definitely see a lot of Demon Hunter action in the upcoming season. I'm going to leave you with the run here. I hope you enjoyed this video and this overview. I'm definitely going to cover the build in more detail in like a full guide, But yeah, right now I'm still experimenting a bit, so I'm gonna be playing PTR more this weekend, and then we'll see. And yeah, you can probably expect, you know, some like full guide in the near future at least. Yeah. So hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Maybe the best way to do this is to actually stop it to entangle. Stop strafing. Right now I'm always holding strafe, but maybe it's better to not do it. Let's make a yellow wall again. Yeah, like this maybe. And it keeps getting better. Maybe I should have cleaned the entire floor. It actually doesn't do anything for me, right? It's pretty pointless. I mean, I do take a lot of damage while I'm doing the entangling shots, but it's probably fine. Start strafing too late. Start staying. The good part is there's like no amount of shelling involved in this and no other random stuff like Tego dropping and so on. It's pretty nice. How to do it correctly sometimes, especially when you're in danger. I'm not sure if we can kill the boss in this time. We'll see. Want to kill those big guys, yeah. Oh, no vengeance. Instead that. I guess in those dangerous situations I have to just accept I lose a couple of hanging arrows. It's too small. Okay, floor 5. Guess I'm running out of time here though. He's auch noch sogar gebiet, oder? Ja. No. Should have respawned here. Okay, 2 minutes. Probably not enough, I guess, but let's see. Do get some ads though, which is pretty bad. I mean, if you tell them what's in like this, it's probably quite good actually. But yeah, overall bad, I guess. Maybe actually. Kinda depends on the errors now when I get Oculus and so on. That doesn't help me here. I'm not hitting him. Actually, I'm not sure if it was actually doing the hunger arrow. But yeah, hunger arrow is just going somewhere. I had like more than enough stricken there. He just didn't get hit at all. Or maybe he wasn't having a shot active, I didn't see. But yeah, easy clap. It's actually nuts. New stack. Oh, maybe I wasn't doing enough hanging arrows. Yeah, that might be as well.